We were buying it for $600 an acre, and we were selling it for $10,000 for 2.5 acres. It was a thing of beauty. And if the people kept the land, they all got rich. But it took 17 years to build a lake. And for them to move Tower Bridge, or whatever the fucking bridge from London to there. So we were just selling sand. And all my contracts were smeared because when they're sitting in the back of my limo with 140 degrees outside and no air conditioning, when they signed it, their signatures would be smeared. Why are all your signatures smeared, Peña? God damn. I don't know what it is. It must be the humidity, you know. It's hot out there. Still hot out there. You bring back fond memories. I made a lot of money there. I probably made more money than most of the people that are still there. But, you know, but I left. Yeah, question.
You said the age for motivated sellers is 55 to 70. What about potential board members? Is there age?
No, your board members are going to be 50 to 70. Once in a while, you'll get somebody, you know, big fucking hitter that's in his late 40s. But it's hard to be big fucking hitter until you get at least that old. And with the greatest respect, and this isn't anything about, but if guys are in wheelchairs and on fucking Zimmer frame, with greatest respect, they're not our candidates for fucking board. I don't give, you know, no, okay. Sorry, you know, I don't want a bunch of fucking emails and shit, but no. You know, they should be left to rest in peace and die with dignity. Fine. Not on my watch, though. You can die on somebody else's watch, not my watch. And, but the motivated sellers, when, you know those things that they walk on? Oh, my dick gets hard. Well, let me help you, old timer. Let me help you right here. Give me your hand. Okay. Oh, God, I get excited thinking about that. I'm telling you, the perfect motivated seller to me, he just had a stroke. He's in a wheelchair. And she's spitting up blood from emphysema. And she's pushing him in his wheelchair and she's spitting up blood on his head. Oh, shit. But, I mean, you're doing them a service. You're their succession plan. Oh, you know. That's great. I laugh too, but I mean, you're doing these old farts a service. You're doing them a service. Okay, so now we've got the seller, right? He's agreed. Okay, and when they agree, I mean, and we're talking about in this example, 100% seller finance. You want to get this done as quickly as humanly possible. You don't want seller's remorse to come in for them to change their fucking mind. And it's all legit. And you don't have time to sit around and have dinner and have a coffee and have a drink. That's all horse shit. Okay? Take care of business and that's it. You're taking care of business. But when I was young, they thought I was rude because I didn't stay and have coffee. I don't give a shit, you know. I just wanted to get the deal done. And maybe it was rude. I didn't care. I care less now than I cared then. So I just, you know, wanted to get the deals done. And when you get that, and once you got momentum going, it's unbelievable to get it going again. So you never want to lose the momentum. You want it to keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. When I'm involved in sales organizations, it's not that we make any sales this month, this week. Did we make any sales fucking today? Today. All the sales organizations I'm involved in, we are on daily reporting, some are hourly reporting. I want to know how many sales we're making an hour. And the people that can't keep up, quit. It's that simple. And God bless them. Allah be with them. It's not their cup of tea. Just as QLA is not everybody's cup of tea. You know, hammer selling is not everybody's cup of tea. And I know that now they have laws. You can't cold call or call somebody you don't know past 8 or sometimes in the different parts of the world. Well, I wasn't making those calls at night, so I never came up against that. But because I was mostly doing planning, I was going in person to meet these people. In person. And you know, and as you polish and develop, your one-on-one skills, which Rotary, Toastmasters, improv, and all these things do, I mean, you won't be afraid, apprehensive, or anxious, whatever word you want to, meeting one-on-one. The reason why the kids are, I'm not illiterate, but almost illiterate now, is because we've had 2 generations almost grow up hiding behind the screen of a laptop and not having to engage with individuals. Because, you know, talking to somebody on Facebook, can you talk on Facebook? No. Yeah? Well, talking to somebody on Facebook is not the same as talking to the guy or the gal eyeball to eyeball. And and your skills will develop. And the harder you push, the quicker they develop. And as Andrea said, when he started taping himself, it was sobering. I mean, just to hear how and see how inept you look and sound. But you won't be. And that's the whole idea about practicing and practicing and practicing. Yes, ma'am.
Do you still suggest to give the equity to the key people in the company?
Okay, we're going to buy a company. You want key people to stay. You got 3 key managers. Give them each a point. A point and 10% or whatever additional revenue over the mean for the last 3 years. Say that again. A point plus 10% for every dollar they bring in over the mean. Whatever the mean revenue was for the last, you get 10%. You'll get 10%. And I mean, you'll see magic. People that were, I thought that was a statue over there. No, that's a guy. He just made $11,000 in sales since yesterday. Since you said that they get 10% over the mean, money. Andrew Carnegie has 4 rules to financial success. Financial motivation must prevail. Financial motivation must prevail. Financial motivation must prevail, and financial motivation must prevail. Those were his 4 keys. That's another way to say money talks and bullshit walks. Okay, financial motive must. Yes, sir.
The 1 point, like, what's the value to that?
Well, no, 1 point is in the holding company. 1%. A point is a percent. 1%. Yeah. And first of all, these employees of these companies that you're going to buy have never been given anything in their life except a Christmas basket, a $20 Christmas basket. That's it. They have never been given equity. Never. You're the first time. A lot of the sales organizations aren't based on bonuses. How can you run a sales organization just on salaries? I don't understand, but there's plenty of them out there. They just pay a salary. What's the incentive to be better than the next guy? There is no incentive. So, I mean, they will think, I hate to use this analogy, but when Hitler took Austria, not a shot was fired, everybody clapped when he rolled through the streets with tanks. That will be you when you go into these companies, when they find out that the financial motive will prevail and they're going to start getting compensated. You have no idea. And then, and I'm not saying this is a good thing, all the bad shit that you missed in due diligence, they will show you. They will show you the fucking skeletons, and then you'll be sick that you bought the motherfucker. But
see, I told you.
Yeah. But they will tell you. I mean, and part of when you buy an organization that has a sales group, I always had dinner with them at night, drinks and dinner. Okay, and this is before the close. Huh? Yeah, with the sales guys. And they will tell you shit, we're about to lose this $11 million contract. Huh? They will tell you this shit. So then you use that to knock down the sale. Well, you're going to lose $11 million next month. And you told us that you were going to, no, where did you hear that? That's bull. You knock the price down. Information, the person that has the most information in a buy-sell normally wins. Not always, but normally wins. Yes, sir.
Do you have one-on-one meetings with employees, or do you bring them?
No. I meet with the CEO. I have dinner with the owner and his wife the night before. Then, because I take 2 or 3 days to go through an operation. I don't just do a half a day or some shit, because the people, you're buying the people is what you're buying. Okay? And then I meet with the CFO at lunchtime, and the marketing and salespeople in the late afternoon. Then I say, let's have drinks, go to dinner. And then the next day, after I've got all this information, I go back in and I meet with the owner again. You know, we're losing this $11 million contracts with this, with that. And now, so once in a while, everything's absolutely pristine, copacetic. That's not too often, but once in a while it is, and you don't have any reason to knock any price down. But that's not too often. That's not too often. But the people will, and as soon as they understand that you're going to pay them, you know, for additional output, I mean, they become, you know, your buddies. Now, I don't want you to be their buddies. I don't want you to befriend them. That's wrong. But most people just want to get paid for what they do. And if they do better, then they should get paid better. It's a simple rule of life, whether you're in fucking Lithuania or New Jersey. Yes, sir.
Any questions that when we meet the seller that we can ask during the first meeting that usually they would get?
Well, I mean, you have a whole list. You're gonna have a whole.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say that they usually get wrong that we can use it when we do the due diligence.
No. There's no other than contractual. They always say they're going to get the contracts again, and they're not. They always say that the morale is good, and it normally isn't. They always say, there's certain things they always say that aren't true across the board, okay? They always say that the interruption of revenue is temporary. They don't really know why it's gone down, but they say it's temporary. And so there's pat answers that sellers have. It's like a handbook. They had a little 3x5 card that they all say the same bullshit.
There's a lot of potential.
Yeah, potential. And I've said for years, man's greatest burden is unfulfilled potential. I'm not interested in potential. Another thing I'm not interested in is experience. At 74, 50 years in business, I don't need any more experience. That's the last fucking thing I need, experience. Okay? And when they understand that the only thing that's going to talk for the vis-a-vis the value are the numbers, historical numbers. That's it. And but now you've had the tax returns, you've had the financials. You're there because you've already reviewed those. You're not there before that. You're there after that. And they will understand. Now, once in a while, you will find a seller who is so impressed with the holding company, with the U, that they don't want to sell all of it. So one of the things is, okay, well, I'll buy 60%. Seller's finance. You keep 40. You have an option to sell. We have an option to buy you in 3 to 5 years, and that 40 will have grown if the dream team is right, and you're going to get more money. But even though you own 60%, you control 100% of the cash flow. We've had some kids make some mistakes, stupid lawyers, shitty lawyers, where they only represent 60% of the cash flow. No, 60%, 100% of the cash flow. Okay, and them keeping 40% to sell later, or keeping 20% and getting 5% of the holding company. So there's all kinds of mix and matches, and your board, because they've done this before, will be able to steer you in the right direction. But the important thing was when you buy 51%, but not 100%, is you have to control 100% of the cash flow. 100% of the cash flow. But there's a lot of different ways to. But the first thing is a real motivated seller. The rest is all you can not make it up as you go, but kind of make it up as you go. It's not that difficult. It isn't. And if you're bored, and your boards will all know more than you. That's a given. Your boards are all going to know more than you. Yeah.
Following up to what Lon was asking, when you're, let's say, the business is cash flowing $1 million a year, and you're buying it for 4 times EBITDA, $4 million, and you finance it, seller finance over 10 years. So now the seller
sounds good so far. Go ahead.
sounds good. So the seller is getting, like, round number, a $400,000 payment from you per year, and whereas he usually would be getting $1 million per year cash flow. So
okay, now wait a minute. Why is he getting $400,000 based on what?
I was just taking the value of the business and amortizing it for 10 years, making it a round number, 400,000 being that you're paying down.
Well, first of all, you want no payments for the first 3 or 4 years, so he's getting nothing.
All right, he's getting nothing. So he's getting nothing the first 4 years where he would be getting $1 million cash flow. And then the years 5 through 10, he's getting probably less than what he'd be cash flow. So if he had it set up to a point where he had his managers taking care of everything, it was pretty hands-off for him, where is his incentive there to get nothing where he was getting $1 million?
Well, then he's not a motivated seller. Simple. He's not motivated enough. Just because you said the numbers and that guy probably wouldn't want to sell.
And that's what I realized. I'm like looking at it from my perspective. It's like, why would we give this up? Like, and then I have to work. Like, you know, like I delegate 98% of my company. I work for like 2%. So I need to figure out, like, am I gonna go into work now for how much, right? So that's why I was asking.
Yeah, but the other side, the side that you're not taking into account is if you didn't fuck with that little business or that whatever you considered, you can make $100 million doing something else.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you know, at the end of the day, that's the real question. Yes, sir.
Would the hope really be that you do that 3 years and then you're looking to have him stay on even for those 3 years?
Correct. Yeah, correct. And pardon? And then he retires, and then you have a retirement party for him. You spend $50 or something, have a retirement party. Not every, you know, just because the numbers make sense doesn't mean it's going to make sense to the seller. Some of the people, when they're faced with the fact, some people really, even though they say they're tired, they're whiners. All they do is bitch, and that's their whole life, the business. What am I going to do? Sit home with the old lady and let her nag me to death? And so then they decide they're not motivated. Or they make the sale so hard to complete, they're really telling you, I'm not motivated. I'm not motivated. And when you got husband and wife owner, you got to have them both at the meetings. None of this bullshit, the man wears the pants in this family, that's horseshit. I mean, that's a load of shit. You want them both at the meetings. So he doesn't have to say, I got to go talk to my wife about it. No, right? No, but fine, she's sitting right next to you. Jack, let's talk turkey right now. Who's my 5:30? 6:30. Okay, we got nobody in the hospital or going, you know, nobody hurt today, right? No, okay. Tonight we're in the pavilion. We're having tonight's snake night.
What time?
What?
What time? 7 or 6?
7. And tonight there was no additional handouts. You're going to see tonight another ruthless fucker. And the operative word is, the last thing I'm going to ask you, but I'm going to, let's see, if these guys were on a scale from 1 to 10, and let's say they're all 10s. Where are you on that scale? 9, 9.5, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, or you're even on the scale, okay? Some of these guys have executive assistants that are as hard or harder than they are. I mean, like Steve Jobs' assistant used to be a fucking animal. The gal that used to be his assistant years ago. Okay, any other questions before we break? Okay, I'll see you at my 5:30 in a few minutes. Thank you.